Hello and welcome back. In this video we're going to make easy venison shanks in the crock pot. This is going to be a no frills yet delicious recipe that you can make with stuff you already have in the pantry, and it will help you guys quit throwing away those front shoulders off of those deer. The front shoulders actually have some of the best meat on the deer if you know how to find it and know how to cook it. And this easy shank recipe is surely going to be one of your favorites. Hit that subscribe button down there. Check this out. And here's what we're starting with. Nothing fancy, just a couple of shanks from a small doe that I took this season. I've cut the knuckles off and it's ready for the frying pan. One of the first things we need to do is get some bouillon ready. We're going to use some beef bouillon, some of this Better Than Bouillon base. And I will have a link to everything down in the description below. So I'm going to put a healthy teaspoon in there. We'll dissolve that in a cup of water. I'm just going to dissolve this because this is going to be the broth that we use to deglaze our pan. Now while that broth is getting cooked up, I'm going to go ahead and salt and pepper these things on both sides pretty good. And I like to use the kosher salt on recipes just because I like the big grains of salt. It's not as salty as salt as the iodized stuff. And believe me, this pepper is going to end up cooking into the other vegetables we're going to add later. It's not going to be too much, and don't be bashful with your salt either. Alright, so we're going to take some olive oil. Can't have too much olive oil, I don't think. And get that hot. Set this at 400. As soon as that olive oil starts to smoke good, we'll drop these bad boys in there. Now all we're going to be doing is searing these, but while we're at it, I'm going to do a teaspoon of rosemary leaves, a little shake of some turmeric in there, and about a teaspoon of thyme. We're just going to do a little quick sear on each side. Kind of brown them pretty good on each of these sides. Make sure you get all those nice herbs in there. Again, we're just going to try to brown them on each side and on the back sides here in just a minute after we get these two sides kind of crisped up just a little bit. Now don't forget to get this back side right there. It's a little harder to get that part because the shank wants to fall over, but you need to brown that part too. We're not going to worry about this part, because if you end up cooking this too much, the meat will fall off the bone before you actually want it to. There you go, that's got them arranged so they'll stand up. A couple more minutes. This only takes about 5 or 10 minutes, this part. Alright, once we got those good and browned off, we're just going to transfer them over to the crock pot. Alright, now that we got those out of there, let's go ahead and add a good healthy tablespoon of minced garlic. We're just going to stir this around with the other herbs just a little bit so it'll start smoking really good like that. And then we're going to use our broth to deglaze this pan. And there's not going to be a whole lot of glazing in this pan because it's a non-stick. But all those nice little bits are going to form our sauce. So we just bring that up to a nice boil. And then pour all that right over those shanks. We're going to top this off with one more cup of beef stock. We want that liquid to be about a third of the way up those shanks. Now we'll just cover this, crock pot set to low. We're going to let that go about 2 hours or until the meat just starts to fall apart. So now that we got a little time to wait on the slow cooker, we're going to go ahead and get our vegetables ready for the next step and clean up this first part. And it's been about 3 hours, and we're getting fork tender on the meat. You can see how it's pulling away from the bone now, starting to fall apart. I'm not going to pull it apart. We're going to go ahead and add our vegetables now. All right, we've got some onions, a whole bunch of potatoes and carrots. And I want to move that meat up to the top. And that is looking good. Just going to put that up top there, like that. And I'm going to use my baster to get some of these wonderful juices and put them over all the vegetables and baste the meat. There we go. Now we're going to let that go for another hour or two. All right, we got that done. Let's go ahead and get one out. Thank you. Get a little bit of the sauce on there. All right, let's give that a try. All right, let's take a bite of this. Look at that, just fork tender. A little of that sauce there. If you tried this, you guys will never throw away another front shoulder. This is amazing. It's just silky smooth. All that connective tissue has broken down into just the most succulent, rich meat dish I've had in a long time. You can seriously convert people who don't like venison with this dish. You guys definitely give this a try. Give me that thumbs up like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down there. Links in the description below to everything we use in the video, and we'll see you next time. Jackie's making faces at me behind the camera.
No!
No! No!
You see my face? This is what I look like.
Get some vegetables. Would have killed me to get a spoon. That's really good.
Put the carrots and potatoes. Try a piece of that.
Hold on.